Hello, ladies. I don't know about you, but I am ready to get my body back, my pre COVID body. Yes, say hallelujah. We are ready to get them back. I am fully vaccinated. I'm ready to start going. And today we have the most amazing guest who's going to help us to do that. This is going to be amazing. So get your cup of tea. Get your earphones in and let's get started. I'm going to have Amy join us in a second. Here we
Okay, let's just see. That didn't work. Hold a second. Oh, yeah, there
Hi.
you are. Hey, Amy.
Hi.
I'm ready. What's my weight?
Good girl. Let me adjust a little bit.
I
There we
was
go.
disappointed that they don't go with my outfit, though. I was like,
Oh,
I need some red ones,
you do. You've got to be color coordinated all the time.
but they go with yours. It
They
goes with
do.
yours. Amy, welcome. I'm just so excited to have you here. Amy is
Oh,
an amazing fitness coach for women over 40, 50, 60, and beyond. And I just love her. And I'm so happy to have her on the show. So, Amy, how are you doing? And tell us about you.
I am doing well. It's been a doozy of a year, hasn't it?
Wow,
Oh my
man,
goodness.
has it ever.
I started personal training after I retired from my 26-year career. So I did a 180 flip. I was an engineering project manager. Now I'm a personal trainer and a health coach. In
Yes.
2014, did one-on-one trainings. I taught group classes. And to help my clients save a little money, and for people that couldn't come to me, I started doing some online videos. I filmed my
Mm.
first video in January or February of 2018, launched my online program 2019. Who knew? So I
Who knew?
thank,
You were ahead of the curve, Amy.
and that doesn't usually happen very often, but yes. So I luckily had this amazing site and I learned with your help, I learned about
Mm.
videos and editing, and now I have over 174. I just uploaded my 174th video on,
That's incredible.
yes, I know.
That is incredible. That's
It's,
amazing.
I love
So,
it.
Amy, I'm so intrigued by your company name, Be Healthy Enough. What does that mean?
Good question. I was one of those, I love fitness. That's because I made it my career. But I was one of
Mm,
those that would, to lose weight or to look good, I was punishing myself. If I had a bad
mm,
weekend, I'd go run for miles or I'd starve myself or I'd, be on these restrictive diets. And I told my husband one day as we were walking, and I was learning more about nutrition and all the diets, and I said, I just want to be healthy enough to
mm,
do the things that I love to do, but not feel deprived or beat up or tired. And, once I hit 50, I'm 58 now. Once I hit 50, those aches and pains started to creep in. So I couldn't
mm.
do the things that I did to manage my weight and to do, that I did in my 30s and my 40s without hurting myself. In fact, just the other day I was on YouTube and there's such amazing content out there. I tried one of those boot camp workouts and I pulled my back. I'm like, oh, it's true.
Wow.
It's true.
Wow.
Amy, it's true. You can't do what you used to do. But, and the thing too is, you have to not be sad about that either, because growing old comes a lot of good things come with it. Growing older and more wiser and more beautiful come a lot of great things, like a better acceptance of yourself. You know,
Mm,
we've saved money so we can enjoy life a little bit. So
yeah.
I don't like to think of it as a negative of growing older. It's just finding what works for you with where you're at today, and that's what I
Mm,
preach.
mm. And so, Amy, what did that feel like? I mean, as a woman who had been extremely fit and completely able to do everything you wanted to do physically, to now experience your limitations. How
It
did that feel?
it's hard. I'm not going to be not lie to you. It's
Mm,
difficult, and sometimes, especially when you're in a group class setting, and you see the people next to you doing the things that you want to do, you used to be able to do, and it's not as easy, or you do something and you get hurt, it can be a little depressing. But what's been really cool is that my workouts are 30 minutes. I do strength. I prioritize strength training over everything because I know the value of that. And 30 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week, I get my movement, general movement throughout the day. I get my foam rolling and my stretching. And I actually feel better, Tracy, because I'm not beat up and I'm not, I'm working out for me and my health, not for looking good or losing weight. So that shift there has helped me not feel bad about doing what I used to be able to do because that wasn't for the right reason. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, it makes
That got a little deep there.
no, it makes complete sense. And thank you for sharing so honestly, Amy, because I think, often what happens is we look at other women. I mean, I've seen your videos. I've even met you in person. I mean, you're gorgeous. Like, let me just absolutely say, especially when I meet you in person, you're even more gorgeous in person than you
You're
are
so
on video.
You're so sweet.
And I was like, wow, she's amazing. So I would never feel like, oh, she feels, and I'm just saying, I know that this is not true because I work with women, and even as a stylist, I know we all are complicated and dislike things about ourselves. But it's so interesting because I think, especially as a fitness person, people would imagine they would have this thing of like, well, she just has it all and she's so perfect and she can do everything. And that just is not true. I'd love to delve a little bit into what helped you make that mind shift to reframe that reality to something positive.
I saw a therapist. I did. I'm not shy admitting that I got help. In that always not feeling like I was enough, and I even called my company Be Healthy Enough. But as a woman, and as a professional woman too, and in a male-dominated world around lots of amazing people, a lot of times we don't feel like we're enough. Many
Yeah.
times, and it's a big struggle, and we constantly, are striving for this perfection, which is never there. And so I was struggling. When I left my career, which was my life, I was there at HP for 26 years. It was devastating. And so I sought help, got a therapist, helped me figure out, what were my hangups, what was limiting me from getting to that next step, creating a new business. And it was that dang perfectionism that we,
Yes.
as women, sometimes get caught up. So that helped. And then just succumbing at times, I'm 58 and I was and so just to preface this, just going through some of those changes, like a hurt shoulder or a hurt back,
Yes.
and just going through them and realizing that you can get through them and to tone it down a bit. So practice and being challenged and overcoming those challenges helped me. And then also I was just diagnosed with osteopenia, and I'm only 58 and I work out all the time. I'm thinking I'm invincible. But my angels gave me some of those challenges to say, you know what, Amy, stop trying to be perfect. Just be healthy enough.
Yeah.
Be able to be able to go on a hike with my husband, be able to, go camping. We just bought a camper van, so we want to be able to go, and go swimming, go do the things we love to do, and not have to do a marathon.
Yeah. I love that, Amy, because, I remember, my fitness journey started way later in my life. And I remember when I met my husband, we've been married for 21 years now. But when I met my husband, I was not fit. And I remember walking up a mountain with him, and I couldn't even get up to the walk, which was was the most challenging part. But I found myself thinking, this is not fun unless I can be fit enough to enjoy it.
Exactly.
And that was such a turning point for me because, I was with a group of people and it was embarrassing because I couldn't even get up. I was the slowest one there, and, and it was really hard. And I in my heart, I wanted to love walking up the mountain. I wanted to be in nature, but my body wasn't fit enough to do so. And so I just decided slowly, and with my husband's help, and at that time we weren't married, but his support, and just, okay, you go in front and we just go at your pace,
Yeah.
And it was good. It was, and eventually I built my fitness level, and I remember when I got up to the top of Table Mountain. I mean, Table Mountain is not a small feat, let me tell you. And I was just so elated and so excited. And I had no intention of getting to the top. We actually had started on a walk, and we actually thought it was just going to be a walk around the mountain, kind of, because there are many different walks on Table Mountain. This is in Cape Town, South Africa.
Wonderful.
And then we suddenly realized, oh my goodness, this is the walk up the mountain to the top. And my husband said, it's okay. Let's just go and as far as we want to go, and we can turn around. And I made it to the top, and I was so excited.
Yeah.
And I was so excited for many reasons. And I think that's one of the things that's kept me going, is always to try and stay as fit as I can be, so that I can go to a dance class and enjoy a dance class, so that I can walk around the city, because I live in New York City, and not be panting when I walk up the stairs, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But during COVID, it's been hard.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. And that's the biggest problem is COVID. I mean, we all got into some really bad habits. I don't know one person that wasn't effective physically through their health. Me in general, I mean, that every once in a while wine habit became a daily thing. And we were home, we were on vacation, let's pop a bottle of wine, and that was those little those sneaky bad habits that crept in. Just have been devastating for a lot of people and hard to kick, because they're fun, they feel good, they taste good, they're like you're on vacation. And so it's been a tough one. That's my first tip when I meet a new client. I just had a new client come to me. It's like, what is your why? Why do you want to either lose weight or start an exercise program? And for you, it was that, getting to that mountain. My new client, she's going on in this amazing vacation at the end of May. Finally, we get to go on vacation. And she doesn't want to be that last one left behind, because they're going to be kayaking and they're going to be hiking. And it was so refreshing that, of course, what woman doesn't want to lose weight? Of course, she wants to lose weight. But her real why is going to keep her going, because it's very, you can embrace it, you can see it, you can visualize it, is hiking and kayaking, which is so nice to hear. And she's kicking butt now. She just did a 30-minute plank, and she could hardly plank when we met 3 or 4.
That is incredible.
Just 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. I love what you're saying, Amy, because when we get to the bottom of our why, that's actually for ourselves. It's not because, society says I need to be this way, or I'm needing to make somebody else happy, or I'm needing to be enough, or I'm needing to be, acceptable in terms of society. But like, what is your reason? Like, what is your reason for wanting to be healthy and for reaching your fitness goals? And so tell us some more about, and I love that holistic approach, right? Because we can be all about, yes, I'm going to go and do the workout, and then the shoes stay at the door.
Monday,
wine is calling again.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are your other tips, Amy, that make it easy for us?
I think bottom line is taking a look at all your habits and kind of assessing which ones you need to kick to the curb. I just did a series of 8 tips on losing weight over 50. And each of them go through, and they can't be crazy diets. You got to get the diet mentality. It's got to be something that you can do that can fit into your lifestyle. Me, it was giving up the daily wine, and I switched. It wasn't easy, but I switched to.
That would be a hard one for me. I have to admit.
I know, it was. But I have my why, because I did learn that osteopenia, wine does deplete your bone density, so be careful.
Interesting.
But I switched to something that I enjoyed. I filled up a sparkling water with some really good sweet juice, like a healthy juice, and I had it in my wine glass, and it was sweet. It gave me a little bit of a sweetness and a little bit of a this is fun, this is indulgent kind of feeling, which was I was getting from the wine. And then the next morning, I didn't wake up feeling like shit, which was nice.
That's amazing.
So, and that was a warmer. And then another tip, looking at and just adding, I like in my integrative nutrition course, I learned about how to crowd in the good things so the bad things have no more room. So crowding in veggies, trying to think about getting filling half or almost half of your plate with veggies for each meal. And so the
Yes.
bad stuff doesn't have any room. Or choosing a healthier version of something you like. Instead of milk chocolate, try dark chocolate, or just finding
Yes.
healthy enough swaps. Those are my big tips
I
for the
love that.
nutrition.
Yeah, I love the swap thing. And I
Yeah.
think that the swap thing probably also, we'll talk about that just now, works very well for fitness too. But I
Mm.
love the swap thing because, you know, at every stage, so I was pescatarian, I haven't eaten red meat since I was a kid because it didn't agree with me. And then I went through phases and I'm now fully vegan now and have a plant-based diet, which I absolutely love. I have so much energy. I was having pre that, I was pescatarian with a little bit of dairy and I was having hormonal stuff and a whole bunch of things that just disappeared when I went
Yeah.
vegan. But one of my go-to kind of guidelines that I've always used when I'm going to make a change in my diet is to find alternatives and to fill my cupboards and fridge full of alternatives so I don't feel deprived. And at no point have I ever felt deprived. That's the interesting thing. When I've made that decision, like, okay, I'm going to try this and see what happens.
Yeah.
As long as I fill my pantry and my fridge with things that I can eat, that I enjoy, that I love. And now, of course, there's a whole bunch of stuff, right? There are so many alternatives to, I mean, just from a vegan perspective, there's vegan yogurt, there's vegan cheese, there's vegan ice cream, there's vegan,
Yes.
there is a ton of, I mean, I even am finding vegan croissants.
Oh,
Could you
really?
believe it or not? In New York, I'm like out on the
New
range
York
for
is the best
vegan
place to find those things. Yeah.
I promise you. But I mean, they're like even online, like the cheeses and the, you know, I mean, these are standard, these are available across the country. So I think that's just such a great way of saying, well, what can I switch out but not feel deprived? Because I
Right.
think that deprivation brings a whole bunch of emotional
Oh,
baggage, right?
it does. And for me, if I tell myself I can't have something, I
Oh, I
wanted
know.
more. That was the hard
Yes,
thing for the wine. So I made sure that what I was having was something that I really enjoyed. Because if you don't like it, you're not going to eat it. And like
that's true.
giving up white sugar, there are things you can use honey. You just start baby steps and find something that has a little bit more nutrients, takes a little bit longer for your body to digest. Or maple syrup or something like that, or fruit
Yes.
or dates or raisins, and I always consult and advise people just to find those healthier versions.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, it was interesting the other day, my husband ate a date and he's like, I'm sure there's sugar in this thing. And there wasn't. There wasn't. He was
Really?
like, they're so sweet. I'm sure there's sugar in them. And of course, there were because dates are really sweet. I mean,
Oh,
I went to the packaging and made sure that there was no extra added sugar or whatever. But it just shows you that nature has those things for us,
I
and
know.
we just
And
need to
once
find the alternatives.
and once you get away from that stuff, any of the stuff that is sugary, it just starts tasting awful, and you need.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing too, is you've got to read your labels because
Yes.
the food marketing industry, they want us to eat their food and they put things like salt and sugar and fat in it to make us want it even more. So you've got to read your labels because I just did a video and I was showing some examples and I went to the grocery store and the Fruit Loops, the cereal Fruit Loops,
Yes.
it had splashed over whole grain.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like,
Oh, I'm
oh
sure.
my God. Whole grain fruit.
Well, soon there's going to be vegan whole grain.
Oh, I know, I know. Anytime there's a little trend of healthy eating, the marketing people pick up on that. Gluten-free, soy-free,
Exactly.
vegan,
Exactly.
paleo,
Yeah.
keto. Keto's the big thing now.
Keto.
Everything
Yes.
keto, so it's got to be healthy.
Yeah. So let's talk about the swapping out with fitness because I think this is going to be
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, so that's a big one. My over 50 fitness formula to make some swaps so you don't feel beat up, so you don't hurt yourself. Because once you hurt yourself, then you're laid up and um,
Yes.
you can't exercise. So prioritizing strength training above anything else. At least
Mm,
2 days a week is my formula because one, it helps build bone density. Stronger or bigger muscles, and the larger your muscles, the stronger your metabolism. And so when you have
hmm
a better metabolism, you're going to burn more calories, which is what we want to do. And then stronger muscles just look a little better too. So you get that benefit and that boost of like, oh yeah, that's working. So, and then
Mm,
switching from the high impact, long duration cardio, the running on the
mm,
treadmill, the steady pace for hours and hours and hours is actually detrimental to your hormones. And at
yes,
over 50, we want to watch our hormones. So what a lot of people that are watching may have heard of HIIT, which is the high intensity interval
yes,
training, bringing your
yes,
heart rate up for a short amount of time and then bringing it down for about half of that, and then going
yes,
back and up and down. It helps your body not release cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And when you exercise, your stress. And when you've got a lot of cortisol, your body shuts down everything else. So it can use that cortisol to do what it thinks it needs to do. And so trying to trick it and just going high and low. And then low, if you do have joint issues or you have been diagnosed with some osteoporosis, low impact. If you have it and you are younger and your joints can tolerate it, impact is good because it does help build bone density. And
mm,
then taking days to recover. Don't just stretch, foam rolling, um,
mm,
and working on those with those recovery days with working on your core and your balance and your posture, because balance, posture, and then your core are just the basic building blocks of being healthy.
mm, mm. So it sounds like what you're saying is that there isn't a one size fits all kind of approach. And that's what's so beautiful about the way that you work, Amy, is that it is taking your age, your hormones, your fitness level, all of that into account so
Yeah,
that you can create something that's going to work well for your body. What
right.
about people who are just getting started? I mean, they are, and like I think of myself when I was couldn't even walk up the mountain. I mean, I'm much older than you know, than I was back then. But like, what about for people, what about the swap out? Like, where do you start if you are unfit and you struggle to even just walk up the stairs? How can you start that process? That
Yeah,
process,
this
actually,
is
is how
this
you
is
pronounce
where
it.
this is one of the things I love to do because, and we did a challenge last November and December. I just call it exercise snacking. Um,
Yes.
tell yourself, tell yourself the first day you're just going to do 5 minutes, and
Mm,
find 5 minutes of something that you love, and that's the hard thing too. If you love to dance, I know Tracy, you love to dance.
yes.
If you love yoga, if you love, just try to find something that you love and do it for 5 minutes, and then do that for just a week. And then maybe the
Mm,
next week start 10. And my big thing is you've got to listen to your body. Sometimes when you get started, you start to feel good. Listen to the signals of pain in your joints, your shoulders, your knees, your hips, your back, and stop if you feel any pain there. And then just give yourself little bits of pat on the back that you got just 5 minutes. Don't beat yourself up that it was only
mm,
5 minutes. Say, I did 5 minutes that I didn't do yesterday. And
mm,
it does definitely has a ripple effect. A lot of my clients that are just starting out that don't and even can't fit in a long hour-long workout, just set your timer for on your phone, get up every 5 minutes. I think for most people that aren't exercising, one of the biggest problems is just the sitting that we're doing all day.
yes. And
And
especially in the last year, right?
yeah, and they say sitting's the new smoking because it really is detrimental and it's in our control. It's the one thing that we can control. We can
Wow.
get up off the chair or the couch for 10 minutes. And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
really you think, oh God, just 10 minutes. It really does make a big difference to get more, just get more. That's my first thing is just get more movement throughout the day. Do a
Yes.
10-minute walk around your house. Just sit up and stand up and sit down for a couple of times while you're
Mm,
during the commercials. It can be just
yeah.
basic.
Amy, it's so interesting for me because during COVID, I did manage to find, because I was going for dance classes, and in New York, there's an abundance, right? I do dance classes and I do yoga and I do a whole bunch of things. And then COVID hit, and we're in small apartments. So we're in like a one bedroom apartment. So like walking from one end to the other takes about 2 seconds. You know, quick, quick. It's like 30 seconds. Okay, I've done it. I've walked around. I've gotten some tea, you know. And I was really surprised. Like I managed to find some things online that were really good for me, like YouTube stuff. Not easy though, let me just say. You know, there's a lot for younger people, but a lot of the stuff, the exercises I would have to adapt because I can't do the jumping or the because my knees would ache or whatever the case is. But what really struck me is because I live in New York City, I used to walk a lot.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I catch the subway. So I walk up the stairs and down the stairs and I walk around and I go to this place and I go to that place. And now I wasn't doing the walking. That lack of walking made a huge difference. I could feel it in my fitness, in my body, in my strength even. Because even simple things like, you know, we go to the grocery store and then I'd need to carry
Yes.
my bags and then up the stairs and down the stairs. And then we live on the third floor. So up and down the stairs and, and none of like, not much of that was actually happening. So I was really surprised the impact that that kind of walking could have on my fitness from a positive perspective. And then when it wasn't there, and it's very difficult to replace, because in a one bedroom apartment.
I know, and so many people, and it is truly easier just to kick back too. I mean, it for
Yes.
you, it's struggling trying to find things to do in the one bedroom apartment, and you can't walk anymore. But isn't it amazing just that daily movement and what a
Yes.
difference it made? And
Yes.
that I think if we all just thought about that a little bit and just and really appreciated just moving around and not worrying too much about trying to get that quote, whatever a workout is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I'm this is at the detriment of my business because I do provide online workouts for women over
Yeah.
50. But
Yeah. Well,
being
I don't think,
realistic, it's so important to
Amy, I don't think it's a replacement. That
yeah,
was the interesting thing for me. If I just walk, it's not enough. But if I just do my dance classes at home or my yoga classes, which are important, but don't do the walking, it's also not enough. So for me, it was that combination of the two. And now, of course, I'm really excited because I've been fully vaccinated today. Woohoo!
me
I've got
too
my
today. 2 weeks
2 weeks. We got our second vaccine at the same time. I'm like, I am
today.
going for a walk in Central Park. I am so excited. I can take off my mask. I'm like,
Yay!
yay! So, but yeah, I mean, I have been going for walks in Central Park. That has kept me sane. But with the mask, it's problematic because I want to walk fast and then I can't breathe properly and I can't. It's like, oh my goodness! Now I feel set free. It's so wonderful. Oh, I can hear like the
I know, I told you so. I'm
the
so
heavens opening. My husband's laughing. I'm like just beyond excited. But
yeah.
I think what I found was that combination, and I think as I get older, like the combination of doing dance and doing yoga. If I don't do yoga, last night I was like, oh man, I'm feeling so stiff. I can't believe it because I haven't done my yoga in a week.
Yeah.
Or for a few weeks, I've been doing dancing and I haven't been doing enough of that stretching, which is one of the problems with dancers is that we often don't stretch enough.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I think it's great about finding that equilibrium for
Right.
yourself. And then, speaking to professionals like you to really help you to demystify stuff and
Yeah.
to make it easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really doesn't have to be complicated. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So Amy, how will people contact you?
Okay, so on Instagram, I'm at Be Healthy Enough. On Facebook, I'm at Be Healthy Enough. My website's Be Healthy
Be
Enough.
healthy enough. So it be healthy enough. Yeah, sure.
Be Healthy Enough, all one word. And I am starting. I have gotten so much feedback from people that want to kick the bad habits. So I'm starting a 4-week Healthy Habits Reset. I'm going to start
Oh,
it on.
wow.
I know I'm starting it on the 24th, and I planned it that way so we could end on the summer solstice. So 24th to June 20th is 4 weeks, and
Amazing.
week will tackle a healthy habit, both nutrition and exercise that's not crazy. Um,
Yes.
and you get full access to my online platform for exercise. And
Amazing.
we'll also be doing things together because I'm going to do it with you. We'll give up the sugary drinks. We'll give up.
Mm,
We'll crowd in the good stuff, and then we will
yeah.
experiment at the end with giving up. We'll experiment with giving up dairy because for women, a lot of that dairy and plant products is really hard. We don't realize how much bloating and things that causes. But we try it for a week and then we experiment.
I have to tell you that for me was a complete game changer.
Yeah.
I could not believe the difference.
I know.
Seriously, ladies, it's worth it.
And you don't realize it until you
No.
take it away, and then you experiment, you add a little bit back in, and you go, oh my gosh, that's what's causing my belly to feel so big. And it's not.
That's exactly what happened to me. My stomach just went whoops. I was like, oh, I like that. I think I'll stick.
I did a beta test with this because I wanted to see if it really worked. And one of my last, when we did this 4-week reset, she lost 2 inches off her belly just from the dairy. Wow, that's amazing.
That's
we're gonna
incredible.
do it all together because it helps doing it together, and we'll be working together, and I'll be there 100%.
Amazing.
Because I've a couple bad habits have kicked in. Now that I gave up wine, I'm finding I'm eating cookies and stuff at night. So I made
it's a continual process, right?
Oh, for sure.
I love that. I love that. Amy, thank you so much. You've been such a joy to have. And I loved your story. I shared your story as well. You were talking about, how you styled your hair. I'm very impressed. You look gorgeous.
I curled it. Thank you so much for recommending the products too and all of that. It's so sweet of what you're doing for all of us over 50.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody who watched online, watched live, and then in the replay. Feel free to put any questions you may have in the comments and just tag us, and then we can just answer the questions. And if you are not following the show yet, then you want to follow Tracy Gold Show. Just click that follow button and hit the notification. That way you will be notified when I go live. I go live Tuesday to Friday at 1 p.m. So I'd love to see you there again. And if you are interested in staying up to date, in fact, let me just quickly tell you, Amy, we're doing a workshop on Saturday the 22nd on how to become your own hairstylist. And we're going to be talking about how to style your own hair, how to blow dry your own hair, how to have good, healthy, amazing hair. If you've got hair loss, how to deal with that. We're going to have so much fun. And the tickets are in. You can check the link in the bio and you can book the tickets. So feel free to join us for that. So have a wonderful day and we'll speak to you soon. Take care. Thanks, Amy. Take care. Bye. Bye.